Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Bunganyi. This week on the Red Carpet, we look back at some of our top stories from 2024. We chat with John Collins, a British guitarist who visited Ghana as a child but never left, to visiting the Malivika, the life-size elephant made of wool and iron in Mozambique. Plus, South Africa reached their first ever Cricket World Cup final in June, marking a historic moment in the country's cricketing history. Those stories and more right here on the Red Carpet. Let's go! Malivika, the life-size elephant made of wool and iron, is the result of artistic talent combined with a passion for nature, a mission to protect and preserve wildlife, and the promotion of peaceful coexistence between man and wild animals. The sculpture, made in collaboration between international artists and the community in the Nyasa Reserve, is now on display at the Franco-Mozambican Cultural Center in Mozambique's capital, Maputo. Sergio Nyambi has a story narrated by Myra de la Salette.
This life-size elephant, it represents dreams, culture, and efforts to preserve wildlife. The sculpture, named Malivika, was created in the Mozambican Nyasa Reserve. Biologist Paula Ferro and director of the Legenda Foundation, Derek Littleton, had the idea as they witnessed the difficult moments of elephant poaching.
We were about 8 years ago struggling with illegal hunting, illegal poaching of elephants. And we were close to lose all of the elephants of Nyasa Reserve. That was a huge crisis that we thought that we were losing, like, our fight to save the elephants.
The idea was to create a sculpture with traps and material confiscated from poaching, and to mount the bones of dead elephants inside. Years later, the project took on a new dimension.
Instead of putting these bones, these dead elephant bones, to knit a crochet skin with a colorful wool. And this colorful wool was like to represent the hope in the communities, the hope in the conservation work that we are doing, and bring life to this elephant. All of these activities that were very hard and sad for the reserve, that is represents a very sad time. We transformed it into a beautiful sculpture, an amazing elephant that has, in contrast, a very fragile skin that is knitted in crochet, knitted in soft wool that represents the hope and but the fragility of the environment.
Of more than 40 artists.
It's 28 women from the Yarrow Crochet Project that knitted the skin. We trained 2 women from the community to become welders. And we have 5 people from the community too that we trained to become welders. We have Derek, Drew, Penel, and myself in the team, and then it's all of the drivers and assistants, the community, kids. Everybody put a little bit into this amazing sculpture.
Paula Ferro says that the work also shows Nyasa's artistic and cultural potential. Malivika is now at the Franco-Mozambican Cultural Center until October 2024. The sculpture will be sold afterwards, and its proceeds will be used to build a school of arts and crafts, Paula Ferro said.
John Collins visited Ghana as a child with his father, but life brought him back years later, and the musician never left. VOA's Isaac Kaledzi met him in Accra, and Anthony Labruto narrates.
John Collins was already a musician in his British homeland when he moved and settled permanently in Ghana. But it wasn't his first trip to the African nation.
I came to Ghana as a child, not with any purpose, but then I came back to Ghana in 1969 to be with my dad, because my mum and dad had divorced, so I wanted to be with my father.
Today, he is a well-known figure in Ghana and West Africa, mainly for his work on popular and neo-traditional music, including highlife and Afrobeat.
I joined so many different bands, I formed so many bands. I went to Nigeria, I played with people like Victor Owaifu, and worked a lot with Fela Kuti, Anikulapo Kuti in Nigeria, worked with bands in Ghana, went on TV, I did so many things, but it was all a labor of love.
John Collins has also worked as a music journalist, writer, and historian. His academic publications on African popular and neo-traditional music are used in universities all over the world. But, he says, living in Ghana was not all that smooth for him.
Well, it's very tough, of course. I mean, I never in Britain experienced things like coups and curfews, shortages, and so on. Dumso, all these things.
Here, at the University of Ghana's music department, Collins helped structure a course in popular and traditional music, Eric Suno-Do, to become a music lecturer in the department.
And what fascinated me about him was, like you're saying, that here is a foreigner, a white man, teaching us our music, whilst our people were teaching his kind of music. So I found that to be quite interesting, intriguing, and that is what drew me more closer to him.
Collins married a Ghanaian and has a son and a grandchild. He feels that it is the Ghanaian people who have made his...
All I've been talking about is not about the climate, not about the food, the sunshine. Everything that's positive is ultimately people. It's people who create the world.
Collins has spent his career learning popular and traditional Ghanaian music and helped inspire young Ghanaian musicians, like these ones who gather here at the University of Ghana every month to keep both genres alive. For Isaac Kaledsi in Accra, Ghana, this is Anthony Labruto, VOA News.
June 29, 2024 marked 4 years since the death of Hachalu Hundessa, the iconic Ethiopian singer, songwriter, and civil rights activist who was known for both his powerful music and messages of peace. Seattle-based musician and artist Yadesa Bojia, who produced a tribute hit song to Hachalu's life, talks with me about Hachalu's legacy, how his life and death left an indelible mark on his country. He tells me that his legacy continues to resonate in the hearts of Ethiopians, particularly the Oromo people, for whom he was a passionate advocate. At the time of his death, 34-year-old Hachalu Hundessa was one of the most popular musicians in Ethiopia. He started his activism as a high school student. At the age of 17, he was arrested for his civil rights activism and spent 5 years in prison, where he started writing songs weaving themes of romance with the yearnings for political freedom. Yadesa Bojia, an Ethiopian musician based in Washington, Seattle, says that Hachalu's music captured the stories of Oromo aspirations and grievances, providing a powerful outlet for expression and unity.
Hachalu is simply one of the most interesting and more impactful artists that rolled in East Africa or Africa at whole. Hachalu was in prison before. Hachalu will also be killed, as we already know, sadly. But what makes him different from a lot of other musicians and artists is his clarity and understanding of human rights, and using his voice to speak, and using his art to speak for millions. He actually died for that cause.
His murder sparked massive protests in Ethiopia. Young people took to the streets demanding justice. Yadesa paid tribute to his legacy through music.
So I met him multiple times. I never get a chance to collaborate with him, not even I think about collaborating with him. But after he passed away, I made a single called Hachalu for him. In a crazy way, people in Japan and places like that, when they listen to this music that I did for them, I also able to get a chance to submit his work to the Grammys and able to feature him on the Billboard magazine and things like that. So I try to my best to enlighten his life, to continuously talk about him, so the memory that they want to die never dies. Well, what Atalu did is he showed how music and art can be used to express people's feelings. Because of that, a lot of young Oromo musicians are using his legacy to fill that gap. It's a big shoes to fill, but they're all trying to do it.
South Africa reached their first ever Cricket World Cup final in June, marking a historic moment in the country's cricketing history since joining the international cricket community. The Proteas, South Africa's men's national cricket team, decided to temporarily relax their quota system for the tournament held across the United States and West Indies, much to the delight of their supporters. In Johannesburg, South Africa, Zahil Kasim takes a look at how cricket is shifting from a focus on race to one centered on merit.
On this cricket field, the pitch requires a swift roll. For Sean Noble, a seasoned groundsman at Johannesburg's Rivoli Cricket Club, this moment is significant. Noble, a cricket enthusiast for almost 2 decades, had hoped that the Proteas, South Africa's men's national cricket team, would win their first international trophy at the 2024-2020 World Cup tournament hosted in the West Indies and the United States.
This final means to me that it's very important to our country and that this is the first time that we're not going to choke in the final.
South Africa had a promising start but faltered against India in the final stages, causing the cricket team to miss out on the trophy. This tournament also marked a relaxation from the quota system that had been enforced over the past decade, which required at least half the squad to compromise players of color to ensure inclusive representation post-apartheid.
You select a person on merit, not on name, color or creed.
But Noble is not the only person who feels this way. Emotions were mixed among fans at the Johannesburg fan park.
There were a lot of people, there was a lot of controversy around it at the beginning because there were more white players in the team, or more not a lot of players of color, sorry. But I feel like we should just get our best people, especially for a World Cup. We should have our best people in the lineup.
Many cricket experts and fans expect a return to the traditional quota system, which has been in place since 1999. However, the 2024-2020 World Cup highlighted a desire among fans for on-field results, no matter who achieves them. Zahil Kasim, VOA Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Thanks for watching VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We are also on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye everyone.